Hi guys, we're going to go through the Pearson Edexcel iGCSE Mathematics A, the paper 1 from 2018 for the foundation tier, and this is final education. So remember, you can always use this paper as a mark scheme or even to check your answers going forward. I will be explaining the method I use for each question as well. So, use it as you wish, but follow us for more content on maths, for more past paper questions and answers as well as topics and other subjects. So remember, you're given a few of the formula as well. And let's start by doing this. So writing 7 over 100 as a decimal. So remember, this would just be 0.07. And as a 48 out of 60 as a fraction in the simplest form. So start off by dividing it by the simplest numbers. So divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2. And divide them again by 6. So you get 4/5. As a mixed number, well, how many times does 3 go into 17? It would go 5 times, and there'd be 2 left. So if there are 840 tickets available for a concert, 1/7 have not been sold. How many have been sold? So that means 6/7 must be sold. So 6/7 of 840 are sold. So remember, in maths, off means times. So we do 6/7 times 840, which would be 720 tickets. Here it gives us a bar chart. Which country has won the fewest number of medals? So the fewest is obviously the one that has the least, which is going to be Kenya. Great Britain won 27 golds. How many were not gold? So look at how many Great Britain won. So that'd be 62, 64, 66, 67. So they won 67 in total. So minus the 27, which means 40 of them were not gold medals. Write down the ratio of the total number of medals won by Russia to the total medals won by Germany. So we want Russia to Germany. So Russia won 56 medals and Germany won 42. So that'd be 56 to 42. Divide them both by 2. So you get 28. My pen won't work. To divide that by 2, 21. Divide them both by 7. So you get 4 to 3. The USA won this many. What fraction were gold? So that would be 46 out of the total number of medals that they won, which would be 46 plus 38 plus 37, it's 121. And in its simplest form, that would be it. The mathematical name for this 3D shape. So this would be a prism or a triangular or a rectangular based pyramid. And how many faces does the shape have? So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. And how many vertices does it have? So remember, the vertices are the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, the vertices would be the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 650 centimeters into meters. So we have to divide it by 100, which would be 6.5 meters. 8 liters into milliliters. So milli means 1,000. So we times it by 1,000, which would be 8,000. Mamona has a 6 kilo sack of rice and some empty bags. She fills each bag with 475 grams. How many bags can she completely fill? So we have to do 6,000 divided by 475 because we've turned the 6 kilos into milligrams. Into grams, which means that would give us 12.6 something, which is 12 full bags, because we can't have 0.6 off a bag. If we simplify this, well, 6x plus 8x is 14x, minus 3x is 11x. When we do this, we times numbers, and then we times each letter. If 8p equals 24, we divide each side by 8, so p equals 3. And remember, when you take the minus 4 to the other side, it becomes plus 4. So we get k equals 17. Over here, we want to have all the t's together and then all the d's together. So 7t plus 6d. If we want to complete this table, well, let's have a look at Africa. So if we have 9 females and we have 16, that's going to be 7 of them were male. And then we look across, so we get 9 for the males. So we do 23 minus 9, which is 14 for the UK. That would give us 30 over here. And if we have 23, that means that must be 27. And that must be 2. So that must be 4. What percentage were female and went on holiday to Africa? So female and Africa is going to be 9 of them. And it's going to be 9 out of 50. It's asked for a percentage. So times it by 100, which would be 18%. 3 kilos of potatoes and 2 kilos of apples cost £7.33. 4 kilos of potatoes cost £3.80. Work out the cost of 1 kilo of apples. So 4 potatoes is 3.80. So 1 kilo of potatoes is going to be £3.80 divided by 4, which is 0.95. So then if we have 3 potatoes plus 2 apples, that equals £7.33. So we can just sub in our value that we found for the potatoes, and we get £2.85 plus 2 apples, 7.33. So our 2 apples would be £4.48. So our 1 kilo of apples would be £2.24. So now it wants us to find the angle EAB, which is this whole angle here. If we're going to do that, well, we can start off by simply saying this angle here is going to, because this is a straight line, must be 180. So this is going to be 72 degrees. And then if we have a look, this shape here is a quadrilateral. So we know that this angle here must be 360 minus 135 minus 72 minus 90, which is 63. This triangle here is an equilateral triangle, which means all the angles must be the same. So this angle here must be 60. So the angle EAB would be 123. And you just need to state all those answers that I explained. So the temperature in Dubai on Monday was increased by 20 degrees from midday to midnight, from midnight to midday. So we want to go to 20 degrees, and you want to go all the way up till you get to this point and come across. So that is the same as a 68° Fahrenheit increase. Maninder says 30 degrees is the same as 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and therefore 60 will be the same as 172. Is he correct? Well, by that logic, we should see if 15 degrees would be half. So 15 degrees is 59 or 50, about 59. So no, he is not, because it does not double each time. Find the lowest common multiple of 12 and 20. So what we're going to do is split them up. So 12 is the same as 3 times 4. And if we split them up into prime factors, do the same for 20. And we get these. So 12 is the same as 2 squared times 3. And 20 is the same as 2 squared times 5. So the lowest common multiple is going to be 2 squared times 3 times 5, which is going to be 60. Find the highest common factor, so we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to split them up. So this is going to be 2 cubed times 3, and 56 is going to be 2 and 28. 4 and 7, 2 and 2. So that is going to be the same as 2 cubed times 7. So for the highest common factor, we take the one that they both have, which would be 2 cubed, which is 8. A wooden box measures 30 by 15 by 32. The box has a lid. Then we have these cartons inside it. He has 110 cartons. He wants to be able to put all the 10 cartons on the box and shut the lid. Can he do that? Well, if he has 110 cartons, we know that he can fit 6 going this way, 3 going back, and 6 going up. So just on the bottom, he'd be able to put 6 going across and 3 rows back. So he'd be able to put 18 on the bottom and 6 going up. So if we do 18 times 6, that would give us 108 cartons. So he can fit 108 cartons into the big box. So he can't, because he'd still have 2 cartons left, and there are only 2 centimeters left at the top, whereas each carton is 5 centimeters tall. So he can't do that. Describe fully the transformation. So we can see that it has been reflected in this line here. So it is a reflection in the line x equals -1. So here, remember, the 2 means we're going to move it right by 2 units, and the -6 means we'll move it down. So let's start off with this point. We'll go 2 to the right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. And then we can just draw all the other points. So we get a triangle that looks like this. That would be C. And C onto B, well, it's going to be the reverse. It's going to be translated by the vector -2, 6. We have to go 2 to the left and 6 up for each point. There are some people in the cinema. 3/5 in the cinema are children. For the children, the number of girls, the number of boys is 2 to 7. There are 170 girls in the cinema. Work out the number of adults. So, if there are 170 girls, we need to find out how many boys there are. So there are 595 boys, so the total number of children is going to be 170 plus 595, which is 765. So remember, the way that we do that is I have to times this by 85, and this is girls to boys, so I also times this by 85. Now that we know the total number of children, it says 3/5 of the total are children. So 3 over 5 times, let's say, total number of people is 765. So I times that by 5 and divide it by 3, which means my total is 1,275 people. Now, this is an accurate scale drawing, and unfortunately I can't use a protractor or so on this tablet, so we might have to miss this question out. Write down the modal class. Modal means it comes up the most often, so it would be the first one, as that happens 19 times. The frequency tells us how often something happens. For the mean weight, we're going to have a new column here called the midpoint, which is going to be halfway between the modal class. And if we quickly put in those values, we're going to get these. And what we're going to do is we're going to times each of these numbers. So 19 times 0.5 is 9.5. 12 times 1.5 is 18. 5 times 2.5 is 12.5. And 2 times 3.5 is 7. 2 times 4.5 is 9. And if we add all of these together, we're going to get 56. So the mean weight is going to be our total divided by the number of packages, which would give us 1.4. We simplify this. Remember, when we multiply, we add the indices together. Over here, we need to make sure we do each one times the power. So we get 3 times 4. 2 to the power of 4 is 16. M to the power of 12. Over here, we have to remember to multiply in. So we get 5x plus 3 equals 3x minus 4. Take my x's on one side, my numbers on the other side. So 5x minus 3x is 2x. Minus 4 minus 3 is minus 7. Ooh, sorry, it should be plus 15. Because I have to multiply every single one. And here I'm going to get, minus 19. And when I divide that by 2, minus 19 divided by 2 is minus 9.5. If I want to factorize this, I want to think about what will multiply to give me minus 24, but add to give me plus 2. So I'm going to get x plus 6, x minus 4, and hence solve it. So I know x plus 6 equals 0, which means x equals minus 6, or x minus 4 equals 0, which means x equals 4. So here's a Venn diagram. Write down the numbers that are in A. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. In B or in C. So it can be 1, 3, 11, 7, 9, 5, or 10. He writes down that A and C does not work. Is that correct? Yes, because the circles of A and C do not cross. One of the numbers is picked at random. Find the probability that it is not in C. Well, how many numbers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are not in C. So it'd be 10 out of 12 numbers in total. So 10 out of 12 is the same as 5/6. Right, this is an ordinary number, so that'll be 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be 80,000. And this would be the same as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divided by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then what happens is we can cross out a bunch of these zeros. And we get, so you can actually put this into your calculator. And that should give you 5 times 10 to the minus 4. On the grid below, draw this. So if x equals -2, we're going to get y is equal to -4 plus 3, which is -1. So when x is -2, y is -1. Remember, this is going to be our y-intercept, which will be there. And now we can quite simply draw a line that connects them, and that would be our line. We want to add all of these other indices as well. So remember, we're going to just draw these indices. X is less than or equal to 2. So I'm going to draw a line that goes like this. Y is greater than or equal to 1. So I want to draw a line that looks like this. And now let's see which side. So less than or equal to 2 means we want to be on the left of this line. Greater than or equal to 1 means we want to be above this line. And less than that. So when we have that, that's going to be this region in here. And that is our region R. Don't forget to label it R, because that's the easy part. Work out the circumference of the circle. So, well, we have a right angle triangle, so we can do Pythagoras, and we know that mn squared is the hypotenuse, so that must equal 3.5 squared plus 9.7 squared. So 3.5 squared plus 9.7 squared, that is equal to 106.34. So mn is the square root of that, which would give us 10.3. to 3 significant figures. The value depreciates by 4% each year. So remember, we're going to do 160,000 times 1 minus 4 over 100 to the power of 3. And that would give us 141,557.76, but it wants it to the nearest dollar, which would be that. Jelena gets a salary increase of 5%. Her salary after the increase is that. So we just need to divide that by 1.05, which would give us 240,000 Hong Kong dollars. And that is the end of the paper. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. Let me know if you have any questions, comment below if you do have any, but stay tuned for any further papers that we go through and any other content. Thanks guys.